Welcome to Caribbean Focus. Caribbean Focus is the voice of the Caribbean community at Medgar College, highlighting Caribbean educational, cultural, and social affairs that includes the wider Caribbean diaspora. The weekly radio program airs on WNYE 91.5 FM, and we are streaming live on Facebook at Caribbean Focus CF. I am your host, Hermina Marcelin, and we are here and honored and blessed to have us, the the world's two-time Olympic medalist, Miss Julien Alfred, affectionately known as Juju. Welcome to Caribbean Focus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are so very welcome. Um, and first, let me thank you. I want to thank you for gracing us with your presence here on Caribbean Focus. Congratulations on your historic Olympic victory in Paris, where you
Thank you.
won the women's 100 meters and silver in the 200 meters. I would like to congratulate you and begin by sharing with our viewing and listening audience about your upbringing in Saint Lucia. Is Cicero to be exact?
Yes, in Cicero. Um, Born and raised in Cicero, basically all, all my life until the age of 14. I decided to leave and go away to Jamaica, but I attended the Cicero House Combined School, well, Cicero Daycare first, then Cicero Combined School, and then I went on to Leoness, but I have spent most of my life in the community of Cicero. We call it Monkey Town sometimes, but yeah, a very tiny community. Great people. So mhm.
And growing up in this, and growing up in this area, when did you first realize you had a talent for running?
Hmm. I was in primary school.
Mm,
Um, just racing, sports day, fun. We have fun sports. We have like the track events, and just competing against like the other girls and running in the yard. I think that's when I
mm,
really realized that I have the talent and just being very competitive. I would never want to lose.
mm,
Up until the librarian,
mhm,
Miss Brenda Virgil,
mm.
along with Mr. Norbert and the late Mr. Steven, who took it upon themselves to just help me further, my talent by allowing me to join a club and
Okay.
helping me get to where I want to go.
Hmm. Very, very interesting that somebody was able to see your talent and recognize your athletic ability, including yourself.
Right.
And as you mentioned that you left and you went to Jamaica, what prompted the decision to continue your schooling in Jamaica?
I think I was excited to go to Jamaica one because um of my idol following Usain Bolt, who
Mhm.
I'm sure I have mentioned so many times over the past 2 months. I mean, just speaking a lot of this, telling a lot of people to just know my story and know who inspired me. But I think because of just Jamaica just dominating in track and field, um, I just decided I wanted to go. After I was approached by some coaches at the CAC Games in Trinidad and Tobago. When I went to represent Saint Lucia, and I just told my mom that I was willing to go. I told Tuatine, Government Wallace, my childhood coach, that I was willing to go, and they both supported my decision, which I was really happy about. Because sometimes people can say to you, "Hey, you're not going anywhere," and some
Yes.
parents can be so strict and just say, like, "My child not going anywhere," that I don't know. And I'm really grateful that my mom allowed me to take up that opportunity and make that sacrifice along with Tuatine to get to where I want to go.
And again, as you mentioned, having supportive parents in your
Mhm.
life um, really is testament to your ability to push forward and to grow. So
Right.
it's definitely commendable to your parents who were that driving force. And
Right.
in retrospect, you did find a perfect balance between academia and your athletic pursuit. You
Right.
graduated with a degree in youth and community studies while simultaneously winning numerous and acquiring numerous accolades in that field. First, I will
Right.
ask, why is this area of study essential to you?
At first, I was really into sports psychology. Um, really because I realized after working with a psychologist back home for the first time ever, his name is Robert. His first name, I can't remember his last name as of now, but working with him allowed me to realize the importance of, athletes having a psychologist with them. And, sometimes in the Caribbean, we have a bad idea of of a therapy. Sometimes we can think that we have a problem with us because we talk to a therapist and we don't need to talk to a therapist. But I realized the importance of once I wanted to become a sports psychologist at first. And then it soon enough later switched to youth and community studies because I really wanted to give back to the youth one way or the other. At first it was like through psychology and being a counselor or a therapist, but I think that I found a different way I could do it, and that's to my foundation. So that's really what prompted to this study even community studies. Yeah.
You said through your foundation. Could you explain and explore further?
Right. I just launched the Julien Alfred Foundation earlier on this year when I came home sometime in April. My foundation is really directed towards the youth of the country, and really giving back and trying to help through academics and sports. And I realized, like I said, through my own experiences, realizing the importance of giving back to those youth back home, because we can have many more Julian Alfreds or Darren Simons or Leuven Spencers, and we also many others who are in need of whether it's help or whatever that may be. And I realized like we all need help some way somehow. And if I can do my part and give back to the youth, just like the government is pouring back into the country or the youth or whatever, I can do my part and do the same.
You exhibit, as I've previously mentioned, this unique combination of academia and sports, and that is admirable. Um, how was this
Thank
task
you.
accomplished? You're welcome. How did you accomplish such tasks?
Um, it wasn't always easy, but growing up, like being around Twatine, my coach, my childhood coach, he would always teach me the importance of having both. And also Mr. Lubo, when I attended the Leones Comprehensive School, they always taught me that academics and sports go hand in hand. Either way, that you need both of them if you want to get to where you're going. And luckily, I took it seriously enough that I was able to enter the University of Texas, and I was able to manage it a little more with the help of academic advisors. So while I was on the track, um, we had academics advisors at the University of Texas who helped us stay on track with our schoolwork, um, so we can be eligible to compete. But it took a lot of discipline to do that, because sometimes, as athletes, we just want to just go out there, compete, and we can become so tired, and we just don't have any motivation to go out there and do the schoolwork. So luckily, like I have people around me to keep me in check, and obviously I want to compete, so I'll have to I'll have to do my schoolwork in order to be eligible to compete for UT.
And as you were able to balance the two, what are some of the skills that you gained through your athletic training and practice?
That's a good one because I haven't really sat down and really thought about like the skills. I know I have a lot of discipline when it
Yes.
comes to the two, because you really need discipline to manage both of them. You need discipline to be good on the track, and you need discipline to be good academically. So I think I can have the discipline. Maybe it made me good at multitasking because sometimes we can be on the road and then I have to focus on my competition that same day, but yesterday I have a quiz due that same night. So I'm able to like multitask. I'm able to just stay focused on what I want and just not, fall by the wayside. It does help me one way or the other, I would say.
I agree. I totally agree, and definitely it is in line with multitasking, and what you entails definitely
Thank you.
requires a lot of determination. And with your determination, you were participating in the 2024 Summer Olympics in France, where you won the gold medal again. Congratulations, and
Thank
the silver
you.
medal. Um, how do you feel about these wins?
I can't really put into words my exact feeling. Um, right now, I'm just taking the time off to just really sit back and realize what I did over just this year, not just at the Olympics, and I'm really trying to put into words which I can't really find right now. How am I feeling? But I know I feel blessed. I feel really grateful that God has just allowed me to just come so far in my life. Um, I feel honored to just be able to represent like so many people on the global stage. Myself, my country, my coach, like
Mm.
those persons who have been supporting me like throughout my journey. But I just feel honored and I feel happy, to say the least.
And you mentioned the coach, which I'm going to segue into because I recently saw an interview where you were moved to tears. You
Right.
kept it back, but I saw it.
Yeah.
Where you were speaking about your coach. Tell me a little bit more about him.
So his name is Edric Floriel. We call him Coach Flo. Um, he was born in Haiti and then he moved to Canada. And he coached at Stanford, he coached at Kentucky, and now he's the head coach at the University of Texas. He recruited me in 2019, 2018, sorry, after Youth Olympic Games. And he's been such a great impact in my life. I can't I can't stress that enough of just how much he's had like a huge impact. And the same way how Tuatine helped me to get to it's an point on how he was a dad to me. Like it's almost like he passed me on to Coach Flo, and Coach Flo has been like the exact same thing. A mentor, a dad, a coach, who I'm really grateful for because so many times like I felt like giving up. So many times I felt like um he just helped me get past so many things, like the negative thoughts that I had about myself, the times I wanted to give up, even earlier on this year where I felt like I couldn't go on, and I felt like like the world was just on my shoulders, and I was just so hard. I need to keep. He's always there when I need him. He's always there. He's only a phone call away, and we all need those persons in our life. And I really think that Coach Flo was just meant to be a part of my journey because he's had a huge impact on not only my career but who I am as an individual, helping me to think positive and just not allowing me to think that the world is ending when I feel like it is. So he's a really good person to me. We all need a coach in our lives. Um, and he's just an amazing person. Hopefully one day my two worlds can collide, Saint Lucia and Austin, Coach Flo. So one day, but he's a great person.
And you mentioned about, and you're mentioning about, these aspects of coaching that is celebratory. What challenges did you face in finding a coach? The process that it took in finding a coach. I know you're, sometimes God blesses us and places people in our
Mhm.
lives, and maybe that would probably be part of your response. But what challenges did you face in finding a coach who could see your potential?
I don't think it was it wasn't that hard to me. Um, and like I always talk about, God is just always on time and he never places us in the wrong place, wrong time. He's just everything happens for a reason. At first I really was looking forward to going to a different place, UTSA, because the coach approached me when I was at Carifta. But right after Youth Olympics, Coach Flo reached out to Makiba and he recruited me, asked me to come take a visit. I was actually following Coach Flo before I moved back to Saint Lucia for 6 months. Um, and luckily he got the transfer to go to UT at the right time. And it wasn't that difficult. Like
Mm,
it just happened like, perfect timing. He moved to UT. I was trying to find a new school at the time and he saw something in me and
mm.
I believe that because he has coached so many Olympians and so many world champions before and so many like great athletes that he could do the same for me.
You have expressed your strong belief in God, and um, well on my way, well on my way. And do you think that God was involved in this union?
Yes, most definitely. He's always he's always there when we need him. And I definitely believe that everything happens like for a reason and God places us where he wants us to be. Even if you're having a bad day, it's all for a reason. And I felt like every step that I have taken was to prepare me for something big.
Mm.
And he's always there, he's always on time.
You said prepare you for something big, which you are this great, phenomenal athlete. What strengths do you believe you have that make you so great?
I never thought of that. Probably lots of like resilience. Um, I do have, I do struggle a bit mentally at times, especially when things like really get tough. But overall, like I'm a go-getter. I have my head on my shoulders and I really know what I want. I have a lot of discipline. Um, what can I say? I don't really know what else to say when it comes to talking about myself. But I think those I've mentioned has really helped me to get to where I want to go.
Thank you for that humble response. Um, may you confirm a quote that I read which states, I never run against anyone. I do it for myself and just want to finish the season in style. For the same reason, I'm not focused on times either. Could you please elaborate on these profound words and of wisdom and knowledge, I may add?
Right. At that time of the season where I mentioned that that was like my last press conference right before the Diamond League final.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I was asked like, am I looking for revenge against my other competitor? But at that time, I was just really focused on just myself. I can't really think about anybody else. And when I say I'm not running against anyone, I didn't mean that there isn't anyone in the ring. I was just talking about it's me versus me. Like I am my biggest competitor. Sometimes we can beat ourselves up so badly mentally that we forget that we're human. And I just wanted to go into my last race of the season and prove to myself that I belong amongst like the great athletes. I belong in the Diamond League final, and I have nothing to prove to anybody else but myself. And it can be such a challenge, like mentally, when you have social media comments, people saying that you're a fluke and your win was a fluke. It's just so tiring sometimes, and I felt like at that time I had to do it for just myself, and I went into my last race of the season not caring about times because sometimes when we think about times, it can really make us tense and we try so hard that we beat ourselves up. And I wasn't trying to think about times at all, but I was just trying to be the best student on the day and compete against myself and my lane. I don't worry about anybody else. That's really what I meant. It's me versus me and not me versus the other um eight amazing women who was lined up, eight or seven amazing women who was lined up against me in the Diamond League final.
And this is an amazing way to think about your own existence, competing against yourself. Because, as you mentioned, not only are you battling those thoughts of
Right.
defeat and doubt within yourself, but then you have social media
Oh my
that could
God.
be a monster.
Yes, it's a very tough place, and obviously the world is moving towards like social media where you get the brand deals for what you post, and so many people are involved in social media, and that's how people connect with like their supporters and their fans and their family. But it can also be a place that can be very challenging, and it can really affect you mentally. Like it can be a very harsh place. People just sometimes people just sorry behind the phone screen and just typing away, not caring about how it can affect somebody else mentally and what it can do to them. But it's just not something that I really try to be on as much as I mean, it's a tough place. So I try to avoid it sometimes, especially during competitions.
Between you try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Are you in contact with any of the other athletes that you compete with at the Olympics?
Um,
And not only at the Olympics, but even after a race, do you stay in contact with them?
I won't say stay in contact. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier on, like after the season or when I'm not competing, I'll go on social media and people post what they're doing after, and yeah, we
Hmm.
give some compliments. Yeah, we talk about whatever they're doing, but I won't say in contact like all the
Okay,
time. It's not
okay.
all the time. Like I'll just give a compliment. I'll like what they're doing because they're also humans outside of competition. So I still try to give a chat here and there.
And your last race in Brussels, again, you won the gold medal, and now you're relaxing, I could say.
Yes.
Now you're relaxing. And I wanted to bring you back to that quote where you ended the quote saying that you are looking forward to going to St. Lucia just to celebrate with your country. And Julian, it will be in style.
Yeah.
Because there's a series of events scheduled in celebration of you. How are you feeling about the upcoming celebration?
I'm excited, I'm really excited to just go back home, um, see my people and celebrate with them. Um, I'm excited. I'm very introverted, so it'll be great for me to get out of my shell and just, celebrate with St. Lucia and celebrate, the medals that I won with them. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
You have now made history, Julian, as St. Lucia's first Olympic medalist. After winning gold, as I mentioned, during the 2024 Paris Olympics. And in commemoration, September 27th has been
Right.
established as Julien Alfred Day.
Right.
What does this gesture mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Like I said, I can't just put into words just how grateful that I am, and for the government of Saint Lucia and Parliament, passing this bill and honoring me in such a way. It means a lot to me, and I'm really hoping that what they're doing, what the government is doing now, can just have an inspiration on the youth, the upcoming generation, to just see what the government can do for them if they just continue going and continue pursuing their dreams. And I just feel honored um to just have a day named after me, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
You mentioned something very important, which leads to my next question on hoping that the government continues this. Continuing celebrating, not only celebrating, but making a pathway for the younger generation and to all of us, especially the young boys and girls who have been blessed to witness history in the making. Um, what advice would you give them?
There are so many things that I would say, but what got me to this point? in my career is that I never give up.
Yes.
And to the youth of Saint Lucia, to the young boys and girls coming up, my advice to them would be never give up. You never know when it's gonna happen. You never know how long it will take. It may happen. You may give up today, and tomorrow may have just been your time for it to happen, or for it to come together. And something I never did was give up in my career. I've had great people around me. I have a good village around me, would never allow me to just throw in the towel and give up on my dreams. So many times I wanted to, with the sacrifices that I've made, um, being away from my family, things not going how I wanted to go, but I never gave up. And right now, I'm just seeing like I'm paying the price for it. Just seeing how much like I kept going, and now I'm reaping the benefits of it. So I would say to the youth of St. Lucia to never give up. You never know when it may come together, and God is always on time. We may have our plan, but God direct our steps. And I would just say to just continue to trust God, those who believe in him, and just never give up on your dreams.
Can I say amen after that?
Yes.
In
Amen.
celebration of the first annual St. Lucia Day, where you were actually being celebrated as well. I interviewed Mr. Jeremiah Hyacinth. He's the Consul General of St. Lucia in New York. And
Right.
I asked him about the importance of investing and the necessity. The necessity of investing in facilities for our athletes to excel. May I direct that question to you? How important it is to invest in our future, making those facilities available for these upcoming athletes who have the potential.
Right. No, it's very important to invest in the youth, invest in those facilities. Like, I can't say for sure because I really grew up on a grass track, Mindo Philip Park. Um, but being part of different systems like Jamaica, the US, it's very important to just invest in those facilities that athletes can use. And it may also give them the motivation to actually attend those practices and attend or get excited to just use those facilities. And therefore we may have like more talent or more athletes like just being involved because they want to be a part of it, they want to be on the new track, they want to compete here and there. And I think that is very important to just invest in them so we can reap the benefits of what they're doing. And I just think it's very important to just invest in those facilities because we really need those. Mhm.
And are you speaking directly to St. Lucia? Do you think that having these facilities, in a place where you're from is essential?
It is. I grew up in Menlo Philip Park. Like I said,
You call it
running.
grass track?
It's a grass track. It is. Mindu is a grass track. Um, so we use the facility of the grass track, and yes, we had a gym that we used, but it wasn't the best facilities. So we would have to travel to Beaufort sometimes to train, especially when I had like major competitions coming up. So I think that investing in the youth, investing in facilities, maybe if I got that rest and didn't have to travel from Castries to Beaufort, like I would have been much rested and, you know, perform better. Like who knows? So I think that having more facilities, like weight rooms, um, better track facilities, just using like financially investing in them and finding the facilities and finding like equipment so athletes can use to just help them get better. Like based on what I have seen in the Jamaica system and in the USA system, the equipment that they use is like really top tier. And I'm hoping that we can someday like have those back home so the athletes can be able to like use those facilities and use those equipment so they can, you know, get better and be on the world stage.
Very powerful statements from you, Julian Alfred, and I'm pretty sure your words will reach the necessary departments. Um,
Right.
Despite it all, you said, maybe I would have performed better, um, but you were destined to perform better. What
Thank
do
you.
you aspire to leave as your legacy?
Oh my God. I haven't really thought about that. Um, that's a tough one. I
We
do
could do
want.
another interview, Julian.
I haven't really like sat down and thought about that. I just really want to just be an inspiration to the youth.
Okay.
The same way how like Lovan inspired many. Lovan gave me some of her equipment. Same as Makiba gave me like like a spike, a shoe. I
Mm,
just really want to just give back, and I really just want to. Based on what I'm realizing, just a nation being united, and just hoping that what I'm doing can impact change.
mm,
Um, whether it's in government, whether it's just the entire country, whether it can help reduce, violence. I just want to have an impact on change one way or the other, no matter what. And I'm just really hoping that, and I love seeing it now that a country can, come together for one cause. And it really makes my heart happy just seeing that.
and you are definitely paving the way and creating your legacy. You are well on your way. And
Thank
those
you.
who are interested in finding more about the Julian Alfred Foundation, where can they get the information?
So right now we're still in the woods because right now it's really hectic. I was not
Okay.
expecting it to like move so fast
Mm,
whatsoever. But sooner or later, if next week I'll have like more information where there'll be a bank information, First National Bank, my like my bank, so they can have a bank account so they can go ahead and give to the foundation one way or the other.
Julian Alfred, is there anything before we end the interview? I want you to get your rest and I want you to relax and start getting prepared for your big day, um, which is going to be your day. Any lasting words that you want to leave with our viewing and listening audience?
There are so many things that I want to say, but firstly, I do want to thank my fellow Saint Lucians for your continuous support in my life, in my career, and online as well. Like, I really appreciate all the support that I've been receiving, the love, and it means a lot to me. And I'm really hoping that parents, adults, whoever is listening out there, that we can continue to just invest in our youth, support them in the decisions in track and field, in sports, whatever way they can. Like, your support means a lot, and it really takes a village to get somebody where they want to go. It's not just one person. And let's give back to our youth. They're the future. And sooner or later we may have somebody else on the global stage representing St. Lucia. So we never know when they may come out. So let's continue to support our youth. Let's continue to support one another, and show love. But I really appreciate St. Lucia, my fellow St. Lucians, and those who are listening abroad around the world. Just thank you for supporting me. It means a lot.
And thank you for showing me and Caribbean Focus and the entire Caribbean your love. Thank you for that. Julian Alfred, I would like again to thank you for your time, for this enlightening interview. Please extend my thanks to your team for making this interview possible. You
Thank
are
you.
a trailblazer. You have shown insurmountable strength and resilience, becoming a role model that many generations to come will know who is Julian Alfred.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
You are so welcome from a fellow St. Lucian like yourself. I want to thank you, and I want to thank my viewing and listening audience for tuning in. This has been Caribbean Focus. Thanks for listening and watching. Be well.